president of the Commercial Law League of America. CLLA is pleased to present the program Picking Up the Pieces, Experience and Tips when your firm is asked to pick up the claims and caseload of a defunct firm or agency. That'll be at our New York conference on November 13th at 1:30 p.m. One of the panelists, Lee Mendelson, is here to speak about the topic, and Lee is the principal at the Mendelson Law Group in Woodland Hills, California. He's a seasoned litigator and collector, as well as a sought-after lecturer on the topics of negotiation and debt collection. Lee, thanks very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, Oliver. It's great to talk to you.
While the economy is showing some signs of improvement, there's certainly been a lot of damage in the wake of the recession, including a lot of businesses that have been shuttered, and it looks like the legal and collections world haven't been immune to that either, have they?
No, I'll just tell you, I can talk from my own experience. About 2 years ago, when the economy started going down, we were having a tough time because we were getting double the amount of business, but it was doubly as hard to collect. And my office has always known that we have to be able to adapt to different technologies and different situations, and that's what we did with this. And we saw, okay, our profit margins dropped to a certain level because we're working harder, we have more employees, and we have more cases, but are those cases paying off? So basically what we did was this is about a year and a half ago, and we took the time to go through our caseload and see where are we getting the good cases from, where are we suing, what counties are the best places to sue, how much money does this client want to pay in court costs or not pay in court costs, and do they want to try to settle cases quicker, which is something, I'm in California, so that's something we have to focus on because costs are high in California, and I've practiced law in 4 different states over my career, and I know that in Tennessee and Mississippi it's one thing, but in Los Angeles it's a whole nother thing. And so we had to make a lot of changes to my practice, and we started picking up, like the name of the program is, Picking Up the Pieces. We started picking up the pieces from some other practices that weren't able to adapt to the new economy or weren't able to adapt to new situations, and went out of business. And these were some of them were long-time collection firms, one of them in particular that I'm thinking about, and some of them, were new guys that didn't quite know the ropes yet. So that's where we focused, and that's how we got involved, and that's why this program is a good topic for me.
It certainly seems very timely and likely to continue to be important to understand as we go forward. What are some of the biggest challenges that you've seen when you've dealt with some of these firms and agencies? Well,
the number one challenge, and this has been especially with retail debt, which my firm actually, we're more of a commercial firm. Commercial and subrogation are our big, that's the bulk of our firm, but we do have retail cases, and we were taking on the retail cases from one firm in particular. We took on a pretty large batch of retail cases, at least for our firm, and the most important thing was, you're dealing with the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act here, and you've got to know what is the true balance of this particular case. If you don't know what the true balance is and you go out there and garnish somebody's wages for the wrong amount, you are really opening yourself up to some serious liability. And that's something that, like, these firms are out of business. And in this one particular case, I had a P.O. box for the firm, but I didn't have anybody to talk to. And they didn't have their records. I had hard files from them, but it didn't have their computer records. So I had to go straight to the agencies. Or in this case, some of them were debt buyers, and say, okay, what is your true balance? Can you sign an affidavit showing that when were these payments made? So I can file a writ of execution and a garnishment or a bank levy and know that I'm going for the right amount. I mean, that is the most important thing. And then the other thing is, I had to take on cases like this particular guy. He did have a P.O. box, and I could send substitutions of attorney to his P.O. box, and he would sign them and get them back to me. But I had another situation with an attorney who, he wasn't signing the substitutions of attorney. That's a big problem. There's something that you can file in the courts to show that basically it's either a motion to compel him to sign the substitution, or you can file a motion to where you become attorney of record. But it's a lot more timely. It costs money. And, is that worth it on a $2,000 retail case that's, 200 miles from your office? So those are things that when you're picking up, I don't like to pick up somebody else's problem, Oliver, but I do like to pick up, if there's some money there, I want to get a hold of that money for our office. So there's a lot of pros and cons that you have to weigh when you get involved with this type of situation.
Sure, it makes a lot of sense. What are some of the things that you think attendees to the program can take away from your presentation?
I think a lot of it is going to be, I really think from our presentation, you'll be able to sit in there and you'll be able to make a decision. Is this a good idea for my firm to take on cases, somebody else's problem, basically another firm that fell off the wayside, do you want to do that or not? And I think, and also a lot of it has to do with, one of them was from a very important client to me. It was a very important client that sent some of their business to me, some of their business to this other firm that went defunct. I don't want to leave my client in the lurch. I want to help him out as best I can. But then am I putting myself in a poor situation by doing that? Am I putting myself in a situation where it's going to cost me money? And, Oliver, I like helping out my friends, but I'm not in the business of losing money. And I don't think anybody else in the commercial law league is either. So I think that those are the types of things that you might learn from this program.
That sounds great. So some very important questions to ask, ways to assess cases and situations to determine whether or not it's going to be worth it for you to pursue all that's involved in trying to salvage a defunct firm or agency. It sounds like it's going to be a great program, and we're looking forward to having you in New York and to learn more about handling the claims and caseloads of a defunct agency or firm. We hope you'll join us in New York November 11th through the 14th. See you there.
And I'm really looking forward to it, Oliver. Can I add one more thing really quickly? I just want to say that one of the most important things that I do when I take on new cases is check to see if they're CLLA certified agency that's sending me the case. I like to talk to the law lists and see who are these new guys on the block, or are they old guys on the block that I don't know. And that's another thing that you'll get from going to the CLLA conferences, not just from attending my seminar, but from going to the CLLA conferences over the years. I've gotten to know people and feel comfortable with people, and I pick up the phone and call these people, and they help me out. And that has been the building block of my firm, and I've been really successful with it. So I really hope everybody comes out to New York that's watching.
Well, thanks a lot, Lee. We appreciate that plug, and certainly in this situation when you're trying to help undo the damage from some problem agencies and firms, having that kind of backup and that kind of help is really important. So thanks very much. We look forward to seeing you in New York, and hopefully we'll see everyone else there November 11th through the 14th. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Oliver.